Hello there, Sloplinski Homes. I hope you're doing well. Boy, I am so excited today for this interview with Mary Glavin and Amy Long with Compass Mortgage. I have been working with them, and I tell you something, they are exceed expectations both as a realtor and for my home buyers. And Mary and Amy, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thanks for having us.
So let's do a proper introduction so that people know you just a little bit better. So Mary is an expert in the mortgage industry with 34 years experience helping clients navigate the ever-changing world of home financing. Her depth of knowledge and calm, steady approach have earned her a stellar reputation among both clients and colleagues. Outside the office, life is full of exciting milestones. Her son is graduating from the University of Wisconsin-Madison this year. Her oldest is getting married next year, and her daughter just moved back to the Chicagoland area. She is thrilled to have her family back within hugging distance. When she's not working or celebrating with her loved ones, you'll likely find her out on the trail, running, hiking, or soaking up the outdoors wherever she can. And once in a while, I'll run into her at Good Sam's Fitness Center.
Yeah.
She brings wisdom, warmth, and a whole lot of heart to everything she does. Amy is a dedicated mortgage loan officer with 24 years of experience, which means she must have started when she was 10,
Right.
guiding clients through the home financing process with clarity and care. She built her career on trust, relationships, genuine passion for helping people achieve their home ownership goals. Beyond the world of mortgages, she's a proud mom of almost a 10-year-old son in the Naperville school system. When she's not working or cheering from the sidelines, you'll probably find her out on the water playing a competitive game of pickleball or spending time with her close-knit group of friends and family. She's all about finding the perfect balance between career, community, and enjoying little moments. Together, Mary and Amy bring nearly 60 years of combined mortgage experience to the table. That's almost as old as I am. And it shows. Their partnership is built on trust, communication, and a shared commitment to making the loan process as smooth and stress-free as possible. Whether it's a first-time home buyer or seasoned investor, clients appreciate the way the two complement each other's strengths, anticipate needs, and guide them to every step of the way. With their hands-on approach and deep industry knowledge, you're an expert in caring hands from start to finish. You know what? That is an incredible bio. And what I could tell you from my experience with working with the two of you, it's 100% true.
Thanks.
Your professionalism definitely does show. The clients that we have worked with together really do comment on how accessible the two of you are. It doesn't matter which one of they are talking to. It is seamless. You're both on the same page. And you guide them every step of the way. And I think that is so important for home buyers, especially first-time home buyers, because they have so many questions. They're stressing out, and any information that we can give them as professionals helps them, make a decision that they feel good about with certainty. So I know the answer to this question I'm going to ask you from working with you. But I would it doesn't matter, you can both, give me your thoughts, but what sets you apart as loan officers from other mortgage loan officers in the industry?
You want me to go first, Amy?
Sure.
Well, I think kind of our bio says it. We care deeply about our buyers, and how we start out every conversation is we have to go through income and assets and figure out what the lenders will allow you to qualify. But more important to us is what they're comfortable making a payment to. And we really stress, people don't get it, but how much real estate taxes affect their mortgage payment. Because so many people come in and say, we want to buy a $500,000 house. They don't understand that $500,000 house might be, or a $450,000 house might be more expensive than the $500,000 house because of the taxes. So we really go through details to help them understand things. We send out, even if they don't understand it, we'll send an Excel spreadsheet that helps them break down payments. And even if they don't know how to use Excel, we'll teach them how, because it is so easy. Just we already have the formulated, formulas put in there. So we just go up and above. I don't know, Amy, do you have?
Yeah. And one other thing is, when we talk to our clients, we know that real estate is not Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Most real estate is happening after those hours when people are getting off work, weekends, evenings. And a lot of these banks that they might talk to and other loan officers, they might shut down their phones. I tell my clients, listen, you can text me at 3 o'clock in the morning. It'll be on silent. I'll get back to you later. But I am, and Mary, we are very—
There's a good chance I'm up at 4.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Between the two of us, one of us is awake. But we give them our cell phone number. We will be communicating into the evenings, on the weekends. We are there to answer those questions because, again, we know that this is happening outside of normal business hours. And I think that is a huge difference that sets us apart from some of the other loan officers.
Yeah, wonderful. First of all, Mary, I found out that we have something in common. I also wake up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, it's my children call it a disease. My side of the family, we all have this disease, and 2 of my children have it, and they're mad.
And Amy, boy, I've called you after 8 recently, and you got back to me right away, which is incredible. And right, a lot of these big box lenders, we're not going to name the banks. However, they do have specific office hours, and you cannot reach them most of the time after 5 p.m. And if you need information, whether it be a pre-approval or an adjustment to a pre-approval on a weekend, many times you cannot reach them. So especially in today's competitive market for home buyers, it's so important that lenders are accessible like the 2 of you are. And the fact that you go through that extra step of providing them a breakdown on the Excel spreadsheet, I know means a lot to them. I always tell my buyers that, whatever you see the interest rate is at right now, contact a lender first, because that may or may not be the interest rate that you qualify for. And if you're buying a condo,
Right.
it might be even a
Right.
little bit more.
Right.
And what you said, Mary, was so important. It's not what you qualify for. It's what you're comfortable paying on a monthly basis, right? For your home payments. Because last thing home buyers want to do is stress themselves out and then end up resenting the home that they bought, 1 or several years down the road. So with the home buyers you're working right now, especially with all the buyers I've worked with this year have been in multiple offer situations, or bidding wars, as some people call. What are some of the most popular programs that buyers are using with the 2 of you?
Well, I think I can speak to this one, and we just can celebrate our success with a couple of the strategies that we just used in one of these situations. So the first thing is our program that we offer called the Get Committed program. This program allows a buyer to go through a full loan approval and have a loan commitment subject to an appraisal and title. An appraisal sometimes can be waived as well. This is basically as good as a cash offer to the sellers because they have gone through the full loan approval process. That sets apart that buyer right away from any other competition that just has a pre-approval letter. On top of that, what we talk about with our clients is, to set yourself apart, we talk a little bit about appraisal gaps, so as we know, in these multiple offer situations, most of the time buyers are going over asking price. And so that puts up a concern to the seller. What happens if it doesn't appraise? We talk to our clients about different options to cover that gap if they wanted to offer a waiver of any kind of, or offer an appraisal gap coverage. So that is another tactic that we encourage our clients to take advantage of if they can. Another big thing that I think a lot of people forget about is just the personal touch. Reaching out to that listing agent, having a phone call proactively, not waiting for them to call you, but making that call first, introducing yourself, talking up the buyers, explaining how great they are, how well qualified they are, making sure they know we have looked at all of these things. We know that they are fully approved. These are things that, you can't really underestimate that. Even in this market, when there are so many people, so many offers in some situations, that personal touch really can make a difference.
And
go ahead, Mary.
Back to the Get Committed. The one thing that we have that's unique is not only do we talk about the appraisal gap, but there is a property inspection waiver, meaning that the buyer doesn't have to have an appraisal. Once we have a loan that's fully approved, we can run it through and find out if they actually need an appraisal. So they might not even have to do an appraisal gap, because we can say to the listing agent they don't actually even need an appraisal.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
which is
and that would
huge.
really alleviate a lot of stress on the sellers wondering
Yep.
whether, and the buyers,
Right.
right, whether it's going to appraise or not. Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Right.
Yeah, Amy, yeah, you did such great work on that, current, sale we're working on. I asked questions to the listing agent and what's important to the seller. I got that back to them and you were able to work with the buyers on structuring that loan and pre-approval that really met all of the seller's needs. And I'm convinced that's one of the reasons why they accepted their offer. And to your point about going that extra step of calling the listing agent, boy, that is so important, because as a listing agent myself, when I'm representing sellers and we have multiple, especially when we have multiple offers, when I appreciate that phone call from a lender right off the bat, not only to get information about the buyers, but what that tells me is this lender is going to be great to work with once we get the deal moving forward all the way to closing. And because many times I've dealt with mortgage lenders that totally disappear and they're not returning calls, not returning emails. And when the offers are close, or even that we've accepted offers that were lower than some of the competing offers, but the lender that they work with was a pivotal in that decision process.
Right.
So, do you have any other programs that help buyers? Let's say if they have a home to sell, that would benefit them in getting their offer considered.
Sure. So the most people think of a bridge loan. So a bridge loan means that we're taking equity from the property that they're selling to purchase the new property, which we have the option to do. But the buyer has to qualify for 3 mortgages. They are qualifying for the house that they own, the bridge loan, and the new property. So not everybody can qualify. We have a program with a lender that, as long as there's sufficient equity, we can do a program where we don't have to count that bridge loan or their current house against them for qualifying. That's huge. So it allows them to go into a property non-contingent on the sale of their house and only have to qualify on that first mortgage. And the way that this lender sets it up is part of this, I'm going to call it a bridge, but it's not a typical bridge. But part of the bridge, they're setting aside money so that they don't have to make a payment on their current house. So it allows the buyer flexibility, and again, going back to comfort, because it's a little concerning to have 3 mortgage payments.
Sure.
This gives them the comfort to be able to purchase this, knowing that they're not going to spend every penny of their paycheck until their house sells.
Yeah, that's very interesting, and I think that's something buyers that currently have a home that they're going to sell should reach out to you and get more information on. What I could tell you in multiple offer situations, if one of the offers have a home to sell, that offer generally gets pushed back to the bottom of the list. So that could be a great advantage for some buyers. Are there any downsides to that the program?
How the program works, I mean, they have to have good equity, right? So it's not, if somebody only has 10% equity, it's not going to work. There is a cost to the program. It's
It's usually it's close to 1.5 to 2 points.
Yeah.
Okay.
On their purchase price, on the sales price of the house.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we will set up this program, and by the time they close, they have already sold their house, so they don't pay anything for it, which is awesome. So we've created this program, and we know that that's their backup, but they don't actually even pay any money because they haven't closed on it. So it's a great program. Downside, I guess if the real downside is the lender gives the buyer 6 months to sell their house. If they don't sell their house within that time frame, they buy it at a really discounted price. Mm-hmm. But in this market, you're going to sell your house.
Yeah, exactly. In this market, with the shortage of inventory, most towns here in the suburbs around the Chicagoland area are experiencing less than 1 month of inventory. Right. And I was looking through some data, both like Naperville and Downers Grove. There's twice as many homes in the last 2 weeks going under contract than are being replaced with new listings. So this could be a great strategy for buyers that have a home to sell. So this has been great information so far. This is really love talking to the two of you. Is there something else you would like to add about how you work and educate the home buyers that you work with?
Again, things that are different for Amy and I than I think most originators. If somebody calls you and they have credit scores of low credit scores, low down payments, anything that's like that, we will take the time, educate them. And we have buyers that, it takes 5 years to buy, and that's okay. We're going to keep in contact with them. We're going to tell them how to fix their credit. We have a program that's a credit simulator that can tell the buyer, hey, this is what you need to, because most people think they have to just pay off their debt, which isn't the case. Sometimes these credit agencies want you to either get a new credit card or pay it down to a certain amount. And we can educate the buyer step by step doing this. We don't have to, which is a common question, for our initial pre-approval, we don't have to do a hard credit inquiry. We can do it as a soft inquiry, so it does not impact their credit scores. So I think something, again, that's unique to Compass is that we don't have to do that hard credit score or hard credit inquiry.
The other thing is Mary and I work together as a team. And I think the plus of that is one of us is always available. And so, if we're on vacation, you're not being passed off to a third party who isn't familiar with your file. We're not handing this off to somebody else. One of us will be working with you through the whole process. We will hold your hand through the whole process as well. So from start to finish, we're not just, we don't take your application and then say goodbye. We will be there every step. We will fill you in on what the next step is. We always tell our clients, if you're not hearing from us, it's good news. There's nothing we need right now, but otherwise we'll be hounding you and getting what we need, but in a good way. And so I think that having the two of us working together is a really big bonus as well, because you know that you will always be able to get a hold of one of us. And I think we talked about this too. Mary and I fill each other in on anything quirky with a file. We know where we are with each other's files or with each file at every point of the transaction. So we can pick it up easily and take over if need be, if someone's not available.
Amy and I are both very task oriented. So we have a running list daily of tasks to get through, and it's detailed so that either one of us can pick it up. And that is why it seems seamless, is because we can just constantly add to that list, which goes back to when I was saying, bad credit. We are literally, our task that is, okay, somebody tells us that they have bad credit, they want to buy in a year, it goes on our to-do list in a year. And we are constant follow-up.
Yeah, that is amazing that you go to those lengths with your customer service, especially with somebody reaching out to you that may not be able to buy now, and then you work with them until they are home buyers.
Right.
That really is a reflection that the two of you truly love what you do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if somebody wanted to reach out to you and contact you, what's the best way of doing that? A phone number and email.
My cell phone number is 630-291-4474. Amy's is 630-742-9605.
Perfect. Well, it's a pleasure speaking with you both, getting to learn more about you and your business and how you serve and help home buyers. Again, reach out to Mary and Amy if you're considering buying a home. You won't go wrong with that decision. With that, this is Slav Flinsky Homes. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Amy. Make it a great day.
Thank you.
Bye, Slav.